Our region's business is sponsored by PNC Bank, solutions that help you achieve your goals in life. PNC, leading the way. And by Heffron Tillotson, a history of meticulous wealth management since 1948. Our region's business, innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, the current economic environment. Is it a crisis or an unprecedented opportunity? Plus, penning the final chapter on the Pittsburgh 250 celebration. But first, in a region rich in the life sciences, it's a perennial headline that we never tire of. Another medical innovation that could end up saving thousands of lives while bringing jobs to our region. ClearCount Medical Solutions is the developer of the Smart Sponge, a system that keeps track of medical sponges during surgery so that they don't get left behind in the patient. David Palmer is CEO of ClearCount, and welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a really fascinating startup story in our region, just hitting the market right now. First, we should probably talk about what the issue of sponges getting left behind in patients. Does that happen very often?
Sure. Yeah, it actually happens, Bill, a little more frequently than we would like. Statistically speaking, 1 in every 1,500 intra-abdominal surgical cases result in something being left inside of the patient. Surgical sponges are the most prevalent item left inside of the patient.
Okay, and you have one right there. So for people who haven't seen a surgical sponge, it looks like a towel, but it's actually, I would assume, an extremely absorbent little towel.
Yes, it is. And this is a lap sponge. And there are sponges, surgical sponges come in all different sizes. There are smaller surgical sponges as well.
So if the team, they're packing those sponges in to try to control bleeding and whatever else, sometimes one can get misplaced.
Correct. Current procedures today call for manual counting. So the nurses are continually counting the surgical sponges, and those manual counts are reconciled at the end of the surgical case.
Okay, but I imagine they could be using lots of sponges in some cases.
Yes, they can. Lots of sponges and different types of sponges as well.
Okay, so that's where the technology piece can really add some value, and that's what ClearCount brings to the table?
Correct. We are automating what is now a manual process. So through our automation, not only are we bringing efficiency to the operating room, but we're also increasing patient safety.
Okay, and so how does it work? How do you automate something like this? It's a sponge.
It is a sponge. We have an RFID chip that is sewn into every surgical sponge. What this chip allows us to do is to perform the counting procedure, and we're able to do this through a scanner which reads the tag, and each tag has a unique identifier on it, and with that unique identifier we're able to count sponges into a case and then reconcile that count when they leave the case.
So yeah, as they take it out, the machine registers that particular sponge is gone, right?
Correct.
And then it knows whether or not it's been returned.
Correct.
So then you don't close, the physician doesn't close the patient until this machine has done its work.
That's correct. And in the cases where we're missing a sponge, we also have a wand that can go over the patient, that can scan the patient cavity to ensure that that missing sponge isn't inside of the patient. There are times when a count may not reconcile, but that doesn't mean it's inside of the patient. It may be on the floor, it may be in the garbage, it could be other places other than inside the patient.
Now, where'd the idea come from to do it this way?
The idea actually originated with an operating room nurse. She and her husband were the original patent holders, and the company acquired the patents from her.
Oh, is that amazing?
Yeah, so this is, we like to say this is nurse invented.
Well, they would know, as I say, if the people on the front lines are the ones who might be able to figure out a way to go about it.
Exactly, and like in most cases, this is where the best ideas come from.
And this has been in development for how long?
It's been in development for a while. The company itself was formed in 2004.
Okay.
So we recently received our FDA clearance.
Because it takes a while. I mean, that's one of the things, and then the life sciences space, it can take a little longer to get to market than perhaps in some other kinds of technology startups.
Yep, no, you're absolutely correct. We went through that development process very quickly in a very focused manner, and then again received our FDA clearances as well. So this is a Class 1 device, which from an approval standpoint has the least amount of time typically involved in gaining that approval.
Now, the key medical device, the counting machine, that's actually manufactured here in our region?
Yes, it is. We use Cygnus Manufacturing Corporation in Saxonburg, Pennsylvania. They contract manufacture the device for us.
Okay, and it's starting to roll into the marketplace right now?
Correct, yes. Yep. We're right in the midst of commercialization as we speak.
Well, there must be an enormous demand for this. This is a worldwide market.
It is a worldwide market. We're currently focusing on the U.S. market. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid recently came out with a ruling this past October which stated that they're no longer going to reimburse hospitals for these types of errors. They call a retained item a never event. And these are cases that hospitals are going to feel a financial impact, greater financial impact than they already do if they continue to persist.
So you got a real need, and you got a regulatory environment working in your favor.
That's correct.
So it's a great time, even in a rough economy, to be starting a company like this in our region. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's exciting. Company's called ClearCount Medical Solutions, and CEO David Palmer. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just ahead, 100 community projects that together wove a colorful tapestry celebrating 250 years of our region's heritage. We'll be making the connections when we come back.